Welcome to the Golden Feather. Grab a pint, a plate, and pick your seats. Your hosts Vertek and Chibi Bree are back from their latest adventure.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode with the Golden Feather. Today is October 23rd. We're a little late, sorry, but as you can tell, we have a whole new overlay for you, as well as a whole new guest. And that brings me to the episode name, episode 55, A Tale of Two Taverns. Hello, Tavern Side Gaming.
Hello. How is it going? I'm so excited to be on the show today, so thank you all for the invitation. I do appreciate it.
Glad to have you. And Vertek is pretty excited to chat about some things.
Oh yeah, we got a good bit of things to talk about today. And yeah, you do sound a little bit far away on the stream itself. Not sure if you have a filter going or something.
I don't have any filters. Uh-oh.
You sound all thin. Oh yeah, actually, you may be picking up the wrong mic.
Yeah, that's a good point. I will be fixing this as the guys talk.
Alrighty then, sir. So first off, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and what brought you to Ashes.
Oh man. So I am Tavern Side Gaming. Welcome everyone to the stream. Just want to say that I'm pretty much mainly an Ashes of Creation streamer. That being said, I sometimes do a little bit of variety content on my off days, but I do like to stream Ashes of Creation, at least talking about it. Of course, I'm not an alpha tester, not just yet, but so who I am, what my community is about, we like to do a lot of community-based discussions where, we choose a topic and we go pretty hard with that topic for a couple of hours. You all may be familiar with my previous marathon that I did before, where my community and we went back and watched every single video that Intrepid Studio put out, as long as anyone that interviewed Steven or any of the developers. So that was an incredible experience. To go through to see like what the game has kind of like undergone, like the game's progression. So that was a really fun experience, and I think that took us like a month and a half. So that was really, really fun.
There is
that was bananas.
there is so much content, but it was really interesting just getting that foundational knowledge and just understanding, like I said, how the game started, what changes it's gone through, and then just seeing the progression, like the visual progression, the progression in some of the combat systems. It was really amazing to see, and then sharing that experience with my community made it that much better.
It was really interesting popping in, because I think maybe you were away, but you were showing like you getting to one of those goals that you were doing during the marathon, and we just saw you eating like baby food. No, cat food. It was cat food. I was just like, how is he gonna handle this? How did you survive that?
That was part of our 24-hour charity live stream. So our community, I think we raised $1,250 for that particular goal, or maybe it's $1,000. That was rough, but as I said in previous live streams, it was for a good cause. If you're curious on the taste and the texture, I definitely don't recommend it. But as long as you have a strong enough goal, I think you can make it through. It was rough though. Actually, the taste wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be, but it was the texture of I think
it's more the concept than anything else that gets people. Because I know people that can eat things like Spam and what is it? The Scrapple. People can eat Scrapple, but yet they twitch when it comes to cat food. Like, there's probably a lot better food, a lot better tasting food in cat food than there is Scrapple. Right. Scrapple is the stuff that didn't qualify to make it into hot dogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound really appetizing at all.
Yeah, it's like they take the good cuts, and then they take the okay cuts, and then they take the bad cuts that are just cheap, and then whatever's left over goes into hot dogs. Right. And whatever doesn't make the cut for hot dogs goes into Scrapple.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would prefer cat food, but we were raising money for like mental health awareness as part of our charity. For NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So it was a fantastic event, and then the community, like the Ashes of Creation community, really did. They came together. They blew our donation goal out of the water. We raised $1,500 total. So I had an amazing time with that, and so we'll be doing more charity live streams in the future, partnering up with. Go ahead.
Sorry, speaking of, hi. Speaking of, there's the Extra Life charity fundraiser.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a good segue. Sorry.
No, that was perfect. So Intrepid Studio I think they just updated their donation page to where content creators or just anyone can really join their Extra Life team and can now fundraise for their overall charity goal, right? I think they are raising money for Brady's Hospital, which is I think a local San Diego hospital. So you can add towards that hospital. I think you can even fundraise for one of your own local hospitals. So, and you don't have to be a content creator to raise money for it. You can, try to fundraise amongst your own community, local or nationwide. I'll be fundraising as part of the Intrepid Studio team in various ways. So
nice.
I'm really looking forward to it. 100%. Now they haven't really released what their the benefits to donating, right? So I think last year they did a 24-hour live stream, which Steven has confirmed they'll be doing again this year. And they had some really cool goals, for donation goals. If you donated $25, you could give someone a boon for their D&D campaign. So I'm
interested. The boons and banes. I loved it. Yeah. I loved it.
I think there was one where you could just insta kill everybody.
Yeah, I think there might have been one with the very high donations, and then maybe some revives as well if someone manages to happens to die. So
that's right. If you kill everybody off, that gives them another 2 hours of content just creating new characters. So
true. It did take quite a bit, but that's part of the fun, I think, with D&D.
Time to start over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, we got to definitely raise at least the 30K to get Steven to shave, because we were talking about this right before coming live. I didn't recall him if he had full beard going for all this time. So I went back and looked at the earlier videos, and he's always had some kind of scruff, like my chin stuff here, but he's never had full on deep beard. It's always been the whole face kind of scruffy. So yeah, it'd be fun to get him to actually have to clean shave all of it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, especially for some of us that are kind of newer to the community, which I've only been a part of the community since I think July. I first saw the Lazy Peons video, so that kind of got me hooked, which I'm sure a lot of us that are newer can kind of share that story, right? And then speaking of Steven's early videos, there's me going back and watching some of those, Lazy Peon got me interested, and then Steven got me hooked with just how good of a speaker he is, which is very confusing. Maybe it's from his D&D past, but whenever I think of us nerdier folks, usually we're a little more introverted, not as passionate, but his passion really did show through with how well he spoke, how much emotion he was able to convey. So yeah, I was definitely hooked at that point, for sure.
Yeah. And don't worry, Phoenix. His beard would only really take 2 or 3 weeks to grow back anyway. So it's not that far a setback. Let the rest of us be happy about it. And yeah, Paradox, which by the way, in case nobody caught it, Sir Jahlon there, Mr. Paradox Gaming Network, is now a Twitch partner. Got that big letter saying, "Yay! You're in, buddy."
That's huge news. It's so few people right now, especially for Ashes of Creation, that have managed to reach those goals. And I see a lot of people that are getting close or making their way towards it. So congratulations, 100% to Jahlon. That's an amazing achievement.
I think that means he wins streaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he wins streaming.
Yeah. He's definitely been a role model for some of us smaller content creators to try to look up to, and his success for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Sorry, I'm just grabbing something to put up there for you guys, but.
And yeah, Woodchip, I'm feeling you there with the mere mortals will not win the pumpkin contest. I'm just going to enjoy everybody else's, and I'm just going to accept the fact that I would not win. Therefore, I'm just going to enjoy who does win and stare at their stuff and say, you know what, I would like one of those on my porch, but I'm not going to be the one to make it.
You're
I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to print it out and staple it to a pumpkin on my porch.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to do. Ooh, Zixab, long time no talk, buddy.
So circling back to the charity, are there any goals you would like to see thrown on there outside of the ultimate Steven shaving his beard, some goals returning, some goals coming back?
It's a good
I definitely like the whole boon and bane system. I think that was a really fun thing that they kind of threw in last time, the whole inspiration.
I think that there should be a role reversal in there. Like in the middle of a fight, somebody should be able to donate a certain dollar amount and have the intrepid staff have to play the bad guys and have to play to win.
That would be actually really interesting. I haven't
like they have to come up with something so that they have to try to play to win. They can't just hold back because they're fighting their own people and they don't want to kill their party. Like they have to win.
Okay, I like that. I would
put some kind of stakes out there.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like even if it was like kind of like a larger donation goal, I think that would be interesting. And then people can kind of go back and forth fighting between which side the intrepid staff is on or not.
There you go. There you go.
Interesting
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Do you think that they'll have like any kind of like food challenges? I think last year they also did what was it? The I don't know if it was like the wizard, like the beans or the different flavored beans. But they also have like cat
the
food
bean
as well.
boozled. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that challenge, and I would hate to be the one that's the object of that challenge so much. Oh my goodness. I've seen some people do that, and if I just get the wrong one, I'm just not sure if I could handle it, honestly.
I think with as long as you have a good enough goal, that's kind of like what got me through my time eating some cat food. It was such a good goal and a good charity that we were raising money for. So I don't mind putting myself out there, even if I'm the butt of a joke sometimes, if it's for a good cause. Now, I don't like to make it a habit, but
if you can't make fun of yourself, someone else will do it for you.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and also. Thank you there, Jahlon, for the compliment on the layout.
Yeah.
Took us a little bit to get it going, and then today it just broke all our systems. So you know,
yeah,
it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. But yeah, we like it. We like it. That we'd spruce it up, put a new fresh coat of stone and lumber up.
There you go.
We wanted more of a tavern feel, so I was trying to accomplish that with the previous things, which actually, now that I look at it, our nameplates are pretty much the only thing similar based off of, because I used something like that, and then but I had rope, and then I had so now it's the same kind of nameplate.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I think that's like something very, I wouldn't say necessarily unique about taverns, but that's one of the reasons why I chose Tavern Side Gaming, because like it builds this sense of one community, just peace almost in certain circumstances. Maybe if you have like a really, bar brawls and everything thrown in there, I think that, mix it up a little bit, but it really does like feel like you're coming together to share a story, to share something about yourself, or to just like, hear about other people. So I think it creates like a really great atmosphere, one for a streaming community, and then two, eventually, hopefully, fingers crossed, within Ashes of Creation, hopefully have like a really good tavern experience with what they allow us to do in those.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
We're gonna have ourselves running one.
Go ahead.
Fingers crossed it turns out really nifty and really fun, because that's something I haven't done in any of the other games. And if they're trying to incorporate actual tools to run a tavern and do nifty things there, like minor questing and like foods that buff people and stuff like that, I'm in.
It's going to be amazing.
That sounds like a fun time to me too. Ooh. So speaking of taverns and a place to come and converse and whatnot, there was recently the creative director's letter, and in this creative director's letter, they gave us dates for the Alpha 1 test schedule. And gave us a lot of other nifty stuff too that we as a community have already seen prior. And so I just kind of wanted to focus on one of the big new things. Sorry, my dog. But
and just wants to be a part of the community.
All about the attention. All about the attention.
I think she's trying to eat me. I'm kind of scared. Don't eat me. But oh my gosh.
But I like how they did the little phases of the phoenix there.
Yeah, going from the egg all the way up to full grown.
Yeah. I think now like having especially all of us in the community having a chance to digest it for a week or 2 weeks if it's been that long so far, it's been really interesting. I had like a certain reaction whenever I first read it. Right, I was a little bit disappointed I could kind of see like where, the development team was coming from. I got a chance to talk to my community about it, which they brought up some really good points. I was able to kind of work through it a little bit, get past my own, reservations. And I actually see how it's really good for the game, especially whenever they won't have an end date eventually. And I've come to terms with that, and it's almost, I wouldn't say renewed my faith in Steven and the team, but it kind of just demonstrates that they are focused on what's best for the game, even though it might not necessarily seem that way at first to us, looking from the outside in. They're wanting those who are going to be watching like the Alpha 1, watching people stream it and make content for it. They want those people to get a good impression of it. So I understand that, these previews that are under NDA, they're there to make sure that the game isn't breaking as soon as a bunch of people jump on the game, right? 10,000 people is a lot, which could, blow out all of their previous testing, could cause issues, could cause bugs, server malfunctions. So even if it did cause me a little bit of disappointment in the short term, I think overall it'd be really good in the long term for everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to see there's some dates for stuff. Like there's some actual dates.
Yes.
Like here is when we're doing things, and they've been so hesitant to say anything concrete about this is a direction or this is going to happen when. So that now when they're putting out dates,
right,
I feel a lot more confident that they're going to actually hit these dates, and do or die, they're going to push hard to get it done.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big statement from them, right?
Yeah.
It's been late fall for several months now, and and while we've seen that kind of stretched out until this multi-testing phase for Alpha 1,
I think it was also very important for them to not release dates again due to the last time that they released dates and how they were unable to fit those within their time frame officially.
Right. Yeah.
And I think because of that, they've obviously learned, not that they necessarily needed to have learned a lesson, but situations happen, you learn lessons. It's not necessarily like a punishment learning a lesson, but just like, what can I do better next time kind of a learning lesson. And
sure.
For them, it was just, okay, let's not announce dates unless we're like 100% sure we can stick to those because, us gamers, we can be pretty passionate about games.
Pretty demanding. Expectational.
I think that's a very good way to say it. Very demanding.
I mean, we have to face it. We are just as a collective whole. Gamers are very demanding in what they want, and if they don't get what they want, they're going to demand better.
Yes,
that's happen. And it's fine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I guess it's just how you present those demands. Z's not demanding.
But yeah, I think it's really smart on their end. I mean, granted, they ended up pushing back the letter a couple of times over it, but I think it was really smart on their end to withhold releasing dates until they're pretty sure that they can actually meet those guides and those markers this time. Also, I kind of missed Ash's timelines. They look so cute.
Yeah. One thing I've always said, like, especially like when we're doing like our marathon, is that the art team, like just everyone within that team, that creative team, like they do such a fantastic job, whether it's cosmetics, in game, how they've been able to work with like the Unity engine, or not Unity, is it? No, it's the
that's right. Chibi does that all the time. That exact same
starts with a U, right? Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
That exact same mistake every time. Maybe not every time, but all the time.
But they've done a fantastic job. And
I don't know. Wording is hard. Okay.
It is.
Words are difficult.
True. But there's I think Steven has curated such an amazing and experienced team, and he's doing a very good job with delegation, right? Which I think is very crucial for any like large company, small group to succeed. They need that delegation and that trust. So,
yeah. I agree. We're hungry for a great game, right? I hear you on that one.
It's a true story. So, what's up?
I was gonna say, we didn't really start off the normal way that we normally do. I mean, we kind of did with the like, who are you, where are you, what do you do? But are there any projects that you're working on?
Yeah. So with my community, I've tested out trivia quite a bit. which was really fun seeing other people kind of develop some of those trivia things. So like the recent Trivianator quiz, which Jahlon and like several other, prominent members of the community, they just blew past like everyone's expectations. Well, I think kind of everyone expected Jahlon to do as well as he did.
Yeah, I was expecting that to be a number one.
Yeah, okay.
There was kind of no doubt there.
But I'll shout out Half Tilt Gamer. He did amazing, as well as like, everyone that was featured on that leaderboard. But I love seeing like people create those types of projects. It gets people involved. It gets them like actually doing research, and it's fun, right? And you kind of see how well you do. You get to see yourself against others. So for the past few months, I've been developing a game show for Ashes of Creation, and it's based on the game Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or the game show, but it's made for Ashes of Creation. So for this game, instead of just you coming up as a contestant, well, you got to choose an archetype. Instead of lifelines, well, you have to choose an ability. You'll have 3 abilities similar to 3 lifelines, and that'll help you progress throughout the questions and providing answers. So it's hopefully going to be really fun. It'll be my goal is for it to be very educational. So like anyone that's watching, they can follow along as we're going through this game show. And it's just going to be a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth. And then more importantly, I'll be having, my community members on. I'll be having hopefully other streamers on. So I'm going to get a chance to learn about, other streamers. My community will get a chance to learn about them. And then we're all just going to be learning about each other. And then more importantly, learning about Ashes of Creation through the questions. So. And
a little friendly competition.
Yes. So there will be some prizes to be determined, but yes, there will be some fun things.
With BTW, I think on that entire list, I think you completed the thing in the quickest time. It was 5 minutes or something. You were just like answer. Everyone else is like pushing the borderline to almost use up like all their time.
To be fair,
it's like bow. So even if you didn't get like the top number.
Yes.
Like you did it in the quickest time.
I thought like everyone would just be like going, just pushing all the buttons, getting through this, because it was a timed contest. Plus, right. And I think I got like 35, so I came in like 25th place or something like that. And I think like my
total
time was like
time as much as I thought they would.
Yes, and so I guess I should have just taken as much time as possible to really think through them. The multiple answer questions did get me. I did like do a couple of questions where I skipped through whenever I should have listed multiple answers. So that kind of knocked me on a couple of them. But yeah, I thought people would be going much faster, so I definitely had that in the back of my mind as I was doing it.
Yeah, the multiple answer one kind of tripped me up, because there would be four potential answers, and I was like, that one definitely, and that one definitely, but I think that's a thing too.
Yes.
And now I have to go look that up and try to find it, because I think I don't know. Right. Oh, it is. Good thing I looked it up. And towards the end, I was running out of time. I had like 4 minutes to finish 10 questions. Like, why did I waste so much time?
It was a good quiz. There were some very tricky ones. Most of them were pretty much straight from the wiki, right? Because I think they partnered with Lex, they partnered with Intrepid Studios. But there were just some very interesting topics that not many people have really covered, like undermounts. Like, who would have known that there were 5 undermounts unless you were digging into the wiki and just reading everything that you could? What is an undermount, right? I heard that whenever I was like getting feedback from my community. There were some really good questions on there, so it was well made for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I had Chibi coming up to try to ask me questions towards the last like 5. She was like trying to talk to me. I'm like, babe, life is on pause right now. Everything is on pause. The house is burning. It's on pause. Wait, I'll get back to you in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it was really cool that they were able to actually give out merchandise for that. The lanyard, the mouse pad, and the hat. So that was really cool.
Chip says TSG had like 5 months, and I've been following for 4 years, and he still crushed me.
Woodchip has just learned too much. Now he's just getting it all confused in his head. Some of these are very fresh for me, so I was able to kind of use that to my advantage, I think.
Yeah.
There you go. But Wizzy McNasty, he got 30 something. You said what, 35? I think it was. I just know I saw the time and like my eyes popped out of my head. Like, holy crap, he did it in 5 minutes and didn't score last. That's kind of impressive. Yeah. Just saying. Going through that quickly, you had to have a pretty good grasp of all that knowledge, because that's like 10 questions a minute. That's like every 6 seconds you're like blah blah blah. Answer. Done.
I thought it was a race, not a marathon. So to my benefit and to my dismay.
And thank you, Raven. Thank you, Raven. I appreciate it. I do groom a little bit.
But yeah, outside of that, my projects, I'm really big into community building. That's one of like my passions. Kind of stems from just being in the military and my current job. I've had the chance to kind of help build up a lot of teams, and I've really enjoyed that. So I'm looking to build up my community in different ways over at Tavern Side Gaming, my Twitch channel. So whether it is like something I've talked to my community about and gotten a lot of support of is doing movie nights or TV show nights where we go through like with the watch parties. So where you can watch like Amazon Prime movies or Amazon Prime TV shows. So that's something that we talked about a lot. We have an ARK Survival Evolved community server going on, which that's kind of where I've had like almost 2,500 hours in ARK. I love open world survivor games, and ARK definitely scratches that taming/breeding itch. That's something that I'll talk about here in a little bit. But I love like those types of games. So I opened that up. We've been talking about taming and the gathering profession specifically. So that kind of pushed me over the edge. I was like, okay, I need to scratch that taming itch. So I'm trying to get my community involved in games that are very close in some aspects to Ashes of Creation or what it might be like. So we can kind of experience, certain aspects and do that as a community. So we've got 4 or 5 people currently playing, which has been really fun. It's really been interesting, and we've been having some like late night conversations, which has been hilarious. So if y'all see the Discord open, definitely feel free to join in those conversations. But yeah, just community building as a whole has been a passion of mine, and it's translated extremely well into streaming. I have a great group of people that stop by. A lot of the people here, I see a lot of very familiar names, which I think that's just the Ashes of Creation and community as a whole. I feel like the Ashes of Creation community, it's very unique in how supportive they are, right? Both with their time, their resources, and their generosity. It's been a humbling experience being able to stream for the folks here, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Good peoples. Yeah, we have some really cool folks that hang out here, and actually, I think a bunch of them hang out in your stream too. Which, by the way, I've got to say, I mentioned it in the Twitter thing announcing it earlier, but you kind of came into the whole community like a storm. Like one day you were like, "Hey guys, I might be starting a channel here soon. I got some stuff going on. What do you think about it?" And like the next day you were like, "I'm streaming for 27 hours today, and every day for the next 3 months."
Yeah, it's been fun.
Bananas.
So I will say, like, early on, like the idea to have like the content rewind marathon, which is where we went back to the very beginning and watched that together. We like I mentioned before, that really did help. Like it helped because there was a lot of other new folks coming in, and we were able to kind of go through that experience together. That helps me grow within the Ashes of Creation community, like with my knowledge, and then it just brought in other like-minded individuals to my community itself. And then my passion has just grown since then. And we've encountered some things that, have caused us to, raise questions, have caused us to come up with some constructive criticism for the development team. But overall, it's been a really great experience, for sure. And it's led me to kind of maintain my motivation. And now that we've gotten past like the marathon in my community, and we are now creating content, and I do really feel like that aspect is kind of lost on some people, but creating content for a game that is not out yet is kind of difficult, but my community has helped motivate me, the amazing people in it, and hopefully I'm going to be able to continue to create a quality show for them. So that's what I can definitely say.
I have no fear of that. I think you're going to do solid, man. So you came in out of nowhere and attracted quite a crowd, and you're doing well. Show looks good, you sound good, you do good stuff, so
I appreciate that. And it's been a learning process. And one thing I will say, a lot of the content creators within the community, they've been incredibly supportive as well, right? Whether it's, Jahlon, Production Network, with his tips and tricks for all types of platforms, reaching out to you all, and then just like watching you all, how you'll interact with your guests, your all's professionalism, your ability to ask questions to your community and then to your guests. It's been a learning experience that not only that I've gone through myself, but just like watching you all, as a whole, all the content creators, it's certainly helped me grow as well. So I appreciate that aspect.
I think that's one amazing thing and important thing to know about when trying to start streaming and things like that is just find people that you look up to, find people that you want to be like in terms of your goals for streaming, and see what they're doing and try to adapt things like that. And then along the way, start adapting your own things as well to make yourself unique. And I think it's really awesome that we have a wonderful group of people to base off of in terms of like Jahlon and a lot of these people that are very authentic in their interactions, you know. And
is there a black hole down there? You just got like sucked away for a second.
Cora. She's playing with
it's been very interesting just seeing like how like the different approaches that people are taking to content creation and initiative creation. Whether it's podcasts like yours, I know Bartik, Zephyrla, and DKP Guilds, they have like their group podcasts every Thursday, which is always fun to like look into, and as well as like some of the outside content creators coming into the initiative creation, like the Lore Seekers podcast. Like there's like so many ways that people are doing interesting things. It's just so motivating. So, and then it's all for initiative creation, which is incredible because they're bringing in new people. They're getting that interest out there. They're being advocates for the game. So I think it's amazing.
Which honestly also is another thing that that I think you're doing right, because with so many people coming in to start doing the content creation thing, you kind of have to have something unique that's setting you apart from everyone else.
Yeah.
Or you have to be amazingly awesome with just your personality and shining smile or something. I don't know to really stand out, because like there's going to be even more coming in down the line too. Right. So
that's true.
Your game show stuff you're popping out with, and just the way you chill with your community is a good way to keep standing out there.
Yeah. One bit of feedback that I've had from my community, which I love, is that they really like that it's a chill, laid back stream. They can come in, they can have fun, they can interact, but there's not a lot of pressure. We're all there for a good time. We're all there to learn about initiative creation. And it is very much so a dialogue. You know, I have things that I'm learning. My community wants to learn too. I bounce off them. They bounce off me. There are members in the community that are experts in initiative creation, and more power to them. They do very well with that aspect of it. But I'm all about the dialogue, the communication, the community building. That's my niche, I think, and I'm having a great time. So
nice.
It's been fun.
Hey, Chibi, just saying it's official. Woodchip and Raven have solidified it. We cannot get big.
Okay.
Can't.
Got it.
Because they stay close to smaller content creators.
Okay.
As soon as we get that partner offer letter, we just have to turn it down. That's it.
Okay. You got
Not
it.
for us.
Affiliate.
Not for us.
Sorry to kind of jump around a little bit, but on the discussion of community, Vertec found somebody on the forums.
Yes.
Nice.
So I ask every once in a while, especially towards the end of our show, if you know of any content creators that you wish us to try to bring on the show, if you want to get to know more, or if you want to, if someone's just breaking into the space and you really want to get them, brought on. I mean, we're not a huge show, but, get them exposed a little bit more to the people that are always around and everything. Please let us know. And one of the things I'm always especially interested in is people that are making content in other languages and for the other countries that are going to be serviced by Intrepid when they go to launch. And we ended up finding someone named Shirkus, a guy named Shirkus, made a post on the forums, Spanish content creator. So if you are a speaker of the Spanish language, swing by and give him some love. Check out the video. I don't understand Spanish myself, but the brief description that he put out there is it is covering like Alpha 1 and creative director's letter and whatnot. So
yeah.
It's really something interesting I've noticed, like just the communities popping up in the various parts of the world that are not going to be necessarily included maybe in the first round at launch, but they're definitely making it known that, hey, we have a presence, we have a voice, we would like to be considered for like those, whether it's a server, later down the line or even at launch. Like they are definitely making themselves known 100%. The Spanish community, the South American community, I've been seeing a lot of support flowing towards initiative creation from those areas, so it's always interesting.
Yeah, I agree, especially with I found it just a little bit annoying. But the people from Brazil were just like hashtag AOC Brazil or something. I only found it annoying as like the people that were constantly spamming it, but I understood the intent behind it. It was just more like, okay, I think they've seen. I love that you guys are wanting this, but it's every video.
They need to do it. Yeah, do it in a very constructive way. All right, create a thread, get everyone you know that is interested to make one post saying I support, and then just getting like thousands and thousands of people. That could be like very persuasive to Intrepid Studios for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of that persuasion as well. Like I end up. Like I totally love when a message is made and you want to have something known. It's just when you spam multiple different people's chats.
Right. Yeah. Or it's just like one or two people doing it. It's like you're not advocating for it very well. Right? Yeah. Got to do it right for sure.
Yes. So I don't know if maybe Vertec, I might be putting some extra strain on you, but I'm gonna try some magic. Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus.
I don't know.
No, concentration's broken.
Dang it.
Concentration's broken. No, I saw your eye twitch. Speaking of which, someone else made a post on the forums and had a pretty nifty idea. Someone called Lore Dynamic. And they titled it Ritual Spells. And had a pretty nifty idea. And I want to see what you people out there think. So they were thinking that, it's pretty cool when you go to cast big skills, right? Especially mages and summoners and necromancers and the like, where you go out and you cast a really big spell. It takes a long time. You want to see that big number hit, be it, as I throw stuff on my keyboard. You want to see the really big damage go in, or you want to see a really big AoE or a really big heal come out. And that's really cool, but the really long cast time kind of sucks because you're just sitting there watching your character just cast a spell, right? Well, what if you had to go and do some kind of mini game to keep your concentration? Like you had to almost like I think the original suggestion was almost like the Harry Potter mobile game where you had to like trace the glyphs to cast the spells. But even if you could play a mini game where you got to keep something balanced just right, or you got to keep something aimed in the middle of a target site or something like that, and if you keep it in the middle there, it increases your crit rate or swings you towards the higher end of damage, something like that.
I could see that for like the Bard, right? Like an ongoing cast that you have to maintain for buffs and debuffs, small like AoE heals or AoE like damage mitigation. What do you think about that, right? Instead of like having like a mage or a cleric, which could just, they're already probably going to be quite strong, like relegating that to like a bard class type.
Well, for the bard, I like the idea of doing something that's like continual maintenance on your keys. Like you have to keep something going. You have to keep a rhythm of something. Right. Maybe not necessarily perfect to the tune of music, but you at least have to have like a pattern going that you have to keep rotating through.
Right. Which kind of fits like that game type of thing that was inside the suggestion, right?
Yeah, something like you're actually like playing. You're playing music. You're playing your instrument, so you gotta keep playing the verses through. But something like you hit this key to start loading up your heal or whatever, and then you hit another key that starts to spread it out as an AoE, and another one to actually cast it, and then you got to do a couple key combinations in order to make it happen or something. That's what I like. That's what I like as an idea for the bard, anyway.
There's a really funny image that I'll share with you all.
I like the funny images.
But it's like kind of like going pretty much what you were talking about. Let me see should I just post it in your all's Twitch chat? Or should I share it here? I'll send it to you, Vertec. But it kind of like talks about that and just it's kind of funny. I don't know if y'all are able to share that or not, but if you just like imagine like some type of stage, they're just in the background, just like jamming out.
There you go. Everybody else there. That's fantastic.
Good old Prismia came up with that one. I love the idea. I mean, even if it came down to like a cleric or a mage, with like this really large damaging spell, as long as like there's counterplay to it, it could be interesting. You have to just worry that if you get like an entire group of mages like teaming up to do it, and they're able to stealth for 30 seconds, and then it takes a 30 seconds like cast time. Like, is that too overpowered? When you think about it from like a solo perspective, it could put out some damage. It could turn the tide. But when you start thinking about large amounts of people doing it at the same time, does it break things? Like, could be a balancing nightmare, maybe.
yeah, it could possibly be a balancing nightmare. I could kind of see that, but if there's only just a little bit of sway to where, let's say, there's a 5% difference in your damage,
right?
To the normal person, that means nothing.
Right.
5% is really nothing. When it comes to like bleeding edge raiders, that's a world of difference.
Oh, for sure.
So they would be the ones to want to do it. So if you had, say, a mage that could gain or lose 5% of their damage based on how well they did during a 2-second cast to actually concentrate on their casting,
sure,
everybody would make use of it. The average person that's just running around would probably check a box that said, don't worry about concentration. I failed just every time automatic. Just, I don't care.
I think it'd be
I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, it could be interesting if like they incorporated it into like the skill system. I think we've seen some very generic like level ups, like more damage or more tanking, right? Like the generic tooltips whenever they showcase it in the past. So it could be interesting if like you could level up an AoE spell that increased the cast timer but also increased the damage, right? So you had to make like the decision, okay, would I prefer a smaller cast time because I know the mechanics are going to be coming out faster, or do I have enough time in this particular situation or encounter to put out a little more damage, right? So that'd be like a balance that you'd have to choose as a player.
What if you had a couple different forks you could choose? One of them was, and just for the sake of brevity, just let's say it was worded, automatically gain 3% extra damage. That's one choice you can make. The other choice is potentially have 5% more damage, but you have to actively concentrate on your spell casting by doing this mini game while you cast.
It would be cool. So say like the 3% just flat, damage increase if you choose it on the spell itself, right? So like the class skill point system. But on the weapon skill point system, you could increase your wand, for example, or a staff. And then the second like tier of it would be like, okay, but now it's a longer cast time, 5% damage, and then there's like a little bit of a game. You have to like wave your wand around like in game, right? It has like that game aspect to it, right? That mini game.
Well, I just figured it'd be a good way to balance that out. That way, some people can be like, I don't want to mess with the minigame thing. Just give me my like 2.5% damage. I'm fine. I'll take it.
It definitely.
And other people would be like, I can get up to 5%. Absolutely.
Min-maxing to like the umpth degree. Yeah. It would fit within Steven's like player choice. And I think it's always important to remember, like bringing it back to the pillars that Steven has kind of built up around Ashes of Creation for sure.
Could always choose like a detriment where maybe you don't do a wand upgrade, but you still get like the added 5% damage. It's just 5% of like lower damage amount. And then choosing to upgrade with the minigame could cause you a higher increase. Yeah. Because you're choosing the more difficult route kind of thing.
Right. Adding more skill to it for sure.
I think that when it gets to the point where I can choose on my character between 2 different skills and it's going to actually count in a raid, I'm going to be happy because that means I'm playing Ashes of Creation and it's launched. So
true.
However that conversation would turn out, I'd be okay with it.
Right.
I wanted to share a meme with you guys.
Did you?
Yes.
What you got with them funny pictures?
This will be my first time watching it, so I don't know.
50% the one blows up.
I recognize
that one. Oh lordy.
Dolium.
That's a long one, by the way.
Hello?
I think it's like 3 minutes long or something.
It's pretty funny though.
What? You really want to know? Yes! Fuck you!
Yeah, it's not safe for work.
Oh, well, it's a good thing I put
it
as like 18 plus, so.
Fuck you! Fuck you! No!
Like how Woodchip's like NSF, it's not safe for, and just anything.
What's your name? What's your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! Fuck you! What's your name? Ezekiel! Ezekiel? That name fucking sucks!
Oh,
Hey! Guess what I did last night? Don't you fucking bring my mother to this? My mother? You guess what I did? What?
Okay, I'm gonna...
I built that fire over there! And then I fucked your mother next to it. Fuck you! Oh, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck
Okay.
you! Oh, fuck you!
In-game chat just melting down, apparently. Ooh.
Yeah. He did a great job with this. A little bit of swearing in it, but that's okay.
Siege declaration. So, yeah.
Siege declaration.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, louder.
I'm not red or anything. Just give me a second. I'm gonna have some water.
That's not a blush. That's
No.
not a blush.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, while we're talking about some very in-depth and complicated memes and such, someone else ended up having a conversation talking about complexity in an MMO. Now, I know a lot of people say keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. They like simple, straightforward things, but I don't know. I kind of like a little bit of complexity. Keep in mind, there's an operative word here. A little bit of complexity.
Yeah.
Just to make things require a little bit more strategy than just, all I gotta do is pump strength and I'm gonna win the warrior game.
Yeah.
Like, give me a little bit more in-depth stuff, and that's what I'm a fan of. But what's your take on that? Are you all about the simplicity, baking it down to like, I don't know, 5e D&D rules, or do you like more like the complicated older school, like,
So
you need some spreadsheets type rules?
I think a little bit of both, right? So you need to be able to appeal to all types of players. And you can do that through horizontal systems instead of just straight up vertical progression. And I think just from what I've seen so far with Ashes of Creation, that Steven is definitely tackling this head on, right? So there will be like a lot of raiding, there'll be dungeons, there'll be world events, PvP, which will kind of cater to those individuals that want that straight up vertical progression. But then you have all the different systems that are going sideways as well, right? You have like your religion system, which you'll have to get through, questing and whatever other means. You have your professions, you have your bounty hunter systems, like your social organizations. Like, I think the game will be so wide in terms of horizontal progression that you don't have to look at one specific system for complexity. I think the game itself will just have so much depth to it that it's going to take a lot of people a long time to really just master all of these various aspects of the game.
Yeah.
So hopefully there will be some complexity to combat, right? You don't want it to be so boring that people are just watching YouTube while they're just kind of moving their character and clicking a button, right? You want it to be, interactive. You want it to be challenging, and that is important.
I mean, you want a little bit of that simplicity for things like, I don't know, farming things
Right.
like
Yeah.
iron and stuff, but you also want something that keeps your attention and doesn't like zombify you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not like mundane stuff that you can just like mindlessly do.
Right. And I think like one interesting thing that'll take us away from that mindless gameplay is just how interconnected everything is, right? When you're out mining, that ore, instead of just mindlessly mining it, well, you're going to have to wait, or at least you're going to have to work with others potentially to protect you while you're mining, and then you can protect them while they're gathering. You'll have to be looking out for people trying to kill you for your resources. You're going to have to, limit your time that you can spend on yourself because, hey, maybe your node is about to get sieged, and it's the last day of preparation. So now you're going to have to go over there and help them out, or it's the day of, and now you're getting called back, right? The call was sent out for reinforcements, and you have to show up. Maybe it's not even your node. Maybe it's your ally's node. So the complexities within the community is just going to be incredibly fun to see it play out as well. You have your nodes, your guilds. Sometimes I just sit back and think about it, and then I have to stop. I just have to say, okay, stop thinking about Ashes of Creation as a game, like with all of the broad concepts, because it's overwhelming at times, right? And then I kind of bring it down and narrow, okay, what do I need to focus on just so I can kind of take in some of this information, for sure. But yeah, I think the game has just so much depth to it, even at this point in development, that it will add to that sense of the game being complex. And then when you think about it as a whole, and then when you kind of go down to like the individual components, that brings in some of that simplicity to it, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, I have the cheesy answer that says I like both.
Yeah.
But a little bit more of an in-depth answer and reasoning as to why. Like, I like the base gameplay, the walking around and doing things, to be simple. My everyday, I want to hop on and hang out with the friends and do something gaming, I like to be simple. But when it comes to, I want to take my main character and go and raid, or I want to take my crafter and go create things that are going to win me the entire auction house, those I like to be more complicated and in-depth.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my random hanging out and having fun, I like to be simple, straightforward, jump in, just do it. But I'm not going to become rich and famous doing it.
Right.
It's just, it's going to be something I can just do to have some fun for the day, not care, just jump in, have some laughs, like hang back with a cup of something and just chill.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But when I want to go hard, I need to have a battle plan for it.
Yes. One genre of gaming that actually, kind of has to tackle this on a daily basis are ARPG games, right? Action role-play games like Diablo 3 or Path of Exile, right? So when you look at Path of Exile, it's incredibly complex, right? With their types of builds for their gear, their crafting systems are so complex. And then you look at Diablo 3, which kind of started out a little bit complex, and they simplified it a lot to the point where it lost a lot of the hardcore fans' interest, right? They started leaving the game for more complex systems. So there's certainly a lot of people out there that do desire complexity, but to what extent, right? I think for Path of Exile, you really have to play several months, if not longer, like several leagues worth of game time just to kind of understand some of the concepts on a basic level. So that's like a very, very, very far end extreme kind of example of how complex games can get.
And
Yeah, you got to cater to a lot of people. Wildstar, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully they're able to strike a balance. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Chip,
I mean,
sorry.
like kind of like.
Sorry, Wood Chip, I sent you a message on Discord. If you can send me the pumpkin page, I would appreciate that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
The pumpkin page? Yeah, because I'm looking through that right now, by the way. Like trying to find what's going on page 6.
Pumpkin contest. And I was like, can you send that to me? I want to look.
Okay. But yeah, like you ended up saying, there's also like the horizontal progression and complexities. Like having a lot of systems would make some people think it's complex, but if you're not going to be a dedicated crafter, you can just not do crafting.
Yeah.
It's not required for your gameplay. So, I mean, if you're just going to craft because it's something else to do in the game, I mean, there's going to be plenty of content in all the other systems. Just go do those. Those.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks for an explanation by some people's viewpoints, I'm sure, but there's apparently going to be a lot to do. So if you're going to get hung up on something, then get hung up on how many things you won't have time to do, because there's so many things.
Yeah, the thing that Witch was talking about, wow. That's interesting for sure. I love they actually did like a green screen room for it. That's really cool.
Okay,
meantime,
so
I have the fan art that was posted by Immortality. I guess his wife made it.
yeah, that I thought was pretty cool. It's a gigantic thing. Apparently it is called, what was it? Here, let me put the link in here because it deserves some upvotes. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, it was called Steck or something like that. Stecks. I can look it back up again.
But I think it's really pretty because it's like tiled almost.
Yeah, it's like a giant tile puzzle thing that I guess you can kind of create. Either way, it looks giant and it's not exactly 8-bit.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of like the pixel art kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pixel arty thing.
That's really cool. There's like the ability in the Ashes creation community kind of just like it's outstanding. It really is. It just blows my mind at time. I mean, like you have someone in chat, Z, like her creations are amazing. And then obviously like the pumpkin contest has brought out a lot of like really creative just folks and content creators that are very artistic, like Miss Games. It kind of blows my mind just how many creative people are in the community.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a mosaic.
Oh man, the skeleton
mosaic
conversation though keeps bringing up. It's Halloween time, and I was posting on Instagram, and all I can hear of is the spooky, scary skeletons.
There
like,
we go.
It's just popping in my head over and over, and I'm just.
It's a good one though. It's a good one to have on your mind.
This, though.
Mini stick, that's what it was. Immortality says in the Netherlands they call it mini stick. Basically small colored blocks that you attach to a board to make a design.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, in short, mosaic, little tiles you smack together.
Yeah.
Speaking of Halloween, do y'all have any plans for celebrating, or are you going to have like a kind of a more laid back night at the house?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Probably going to be a more laid back night at the house this time around, which makes me sad because I love me some Halloween.
Yeah.
I
Have
haven't
you all
even gotten that far of thinking about Halloween. I mean, today we got an email from our apartment that's like, if you don't have candy, put this on your door. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. They sent an email out to all the residents, like, just put this on your door if you're not giving out candy.
Right.
It says no candy here, boo, with a little ghost.
That's kind of cute though. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to decorate your door?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So one of the promises for my 24-hour, or one of the goals for my 24-hour live stream that I did previously was that I have to do a cosplay stream. So one day this month, I'm going to have to, the decision was Stuffertons. I'll be dressing up as Stuffertons, and then I'll be having a guest on to help me out with that. So that's kind of like my contribution to the community for this. Then I still have to do my pumpkin. So it's going to be an interesting stream, to say the least.
Okay. Might have to tune in.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
Boy, yeah, I think that might end up being what we do then. We'll cruise around and watch some streams and hang out with some people.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
It's been interesting just
that don't show up more for me.
Yeah. There's been like quite a few like pumpkin carving streams that I've caught, and then just people doing various things. So it'll be interesting to see like near Halloween, whether it's the day of, the day before, just like what people have in mind, what they'll be doing for the community. I'm always like interested to see just like what direction people take with their content, and then what community creations will be made for this year that'll be shared on like the official forums. It's always fun just to kind of like see what everyone's doing.
Yeah, every time I take a peek around and look at just all the different streams, it's insane the radically different approach everybody can have to the same content, because it's not like we're floating and swimming in giant seas of things to cover. Unless you're brand new to covering Ash's content, it's a slow trickle of stuff coming in, but yet everybody presents it in a way where it oftentimes sounds like new information, because they're bringing out one tiny little tidbit that nobody else had heard, but it's such a big discussion point they can talk about it for hours.
Yeah. And I think that's, props off to like the longtime supporters of Ash Chef Creation. Like Woodchip comes to mind, or Reluctant Raven, and then several others that I've seen, not just in my stream, but just in streams all over, right? They hear all these different perspectives, from the different content creators, and it's like, it must be very fun for them. And I've been in that seat myself. I'll go around to the different streams and just hearing like what you just said, Vertec and Chippy Bree, just the different ways people kind of go at it. It's incredibly refreshing, kind of provides me a different perspective, makes me think. And then I think it adds to like everyone's overall knowledge. And then maybe they didn't think about the game in a certain way. Now they do, or at least. So yeah, it's very fun.
And oh my gosh, thank you, by the way, Tavern, for the subs you gifted out, and thank you again, Woodchip, who doesn't like to be tied.
See, I didn't understand, because I thought he was meaning like tied with somebody else, as in like Woodchip and Raven. I thought that's what he was going at, and then I saw the 5 more like thank you gift subs, and oh gotcha, that kind of thing.
You're too kind.
The race is on.
So I wanted just a quick, we did already say earlier, like, congratulations to Jahlon for being a Twitch partner. But also, I guess today, Ashes tweeted out that they hit 100K subscribers on YouTube. So congratulations, Intrepid, for getting 100K followers, or subscribers rather, on your YouTube channel. We are so excited to see your game just continue to grow, and we can't wait to watch it prosper. So thank you for giving us content to talk about. We are super grateful.
Yes, please do continue.
Yeah.
More content is always amazing.
Yes.
The continual jog upwards and onwards.
Which that's a pretty big achievement, right? For a game that's early in development, reaching 100,000 subs. Like when you look at some of the other game development studios at this point, they're 10,000, 20,000, 30,000.
Yeah.
Just goes to show just how much support that Ashes of Creation really does have. So
Yeah, I agree, and I really do feel like when Stephen was on Jahlon's stream talking about the letter, that, you know, we do have a great community here. You know, we have a very polite, mainly positive community, and I am just as excited pardon me, I'm just as excited as he is about all the people that are so willing to share information and knowledge with newcomers who are just eager to learn or just super curious. And no, not a continuous cough. For some reason, I have a frog in my throat apparently. I don't know. But no, Z, I'm fine, thank you. But no, I'm not turning into a Polnar. But
Ragnar confirmed. I like it.
Oh man. I don't even know what I was saying. I just love our community. I'll end it there. I'll take a drink of water.
yeah, there you go. It's always a safe place to end it.
Drink, hydrate.
So kind of just circling back to the alpha, the alpha roadmap. I was curious to your all's opinion. Do you all see yourselves as dedicating a lot of time to it, as in streaming it, or will you continue like your podcast? How will content change for you all
when the game launches?
Wow.
When the alpha, both like the non-NDA, the preview, as well as the month-long full alpha.
Well, the NDA stuff, I mean, there's not like a large window, and like even if we end up playing a bunch of it, we wouldn't be able to really stream much of it. So we'd probably end up sneaking it in when we can, and it may not change a whole lot about us. But when it comes time for the NDA to release, we would love to by then have a lot more things in our daily life ironed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we're both still adjusting to the move and adjusting to just changes in the job schedule and the life schedule in general. So it's been quite pressing for time here lately, but we're hoping that we can get all that stuff ironed out and get all our ducks in a row before the actual Alpha 1. And then, yes, we are hoping to do a lot of streaming.
Okay.
Like a lot of streaming.
That's great.
We may end up doing our own little charity stream marathons in like that 1 month of Alpha 1. We might hit like 3 marathons or something.
Nice.
Or no.
Yeah, I mean that's fun. I'm a huge fan of the show, so seeing y'all expand out until like some of that Alpha 1 content, that would be really fun as a viewer for sure. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and while we may not be on together, we might be on individually at different times. So that's something to keep track of.
Because my job has me up stupid early in the morning. So
mine has me stupid up late at night. So
yeah, you can like hand off the torch to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much exactly. We're going to do a 24-hour marathon, and neither one of us are going to be on at the same time.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll just give him the first 12. I take the second 12, or vice versa. Whatever.
And by the way, thank you, Air128 or A1R. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be an acronym or not, but I'm gonna call you Air128.
I like A1, like Alpha 1 or A1 steak sauce. Either
A1
way, I'm happy.
A1 steak sauce. It's a classic. I like that
exactly.
one.
It is.
But yeah, first off, I just wanted to say thank you for asking us. I don't think we've ever been kind of interviewed or got given an interview question on our own stream, so that was kind of a nice curveball. But also, we may not always be just this podcast going forward. So just to tease you guys with a little bit of content ideas, there may be other types of streams that we do within our tavern. So,
mysterious.
Food for thought.
I like it.
I'll keep
like
it mysterious for you.
We have some grand schemes in the works. We need to find another teammate or two to help out. Mainly, if anybody knows some website designers and front end, back end developers.
Yes, see, all Ashes related.
Yeah, database lovers. Then by all means, please help because. We have some plans in mind, but we do not know enough about it. We don't just want to stand up a Squarespace with our banner on there and be like, "We got a website. It's a glorious." Like we want to actually stand up a quality product from day one.
Yes, Chip. We're opening a strip club. It's called Phoenix.
That's down the line. That's not immediately. See.
Still making those deals. One thing I will say, like, there are a lot of incredibly talented people in the community. So like, reach out, because I've seen like Simur getting help. I've seen Jahlon getting help. And there's a lot of people that are, like I mentioned before, just generous with their time, with their experience, that might be willing to work to help out with different things. So yeah, whether it's like on the official Discord, the forums, I would just reach out, see what people have going for them.
Thank you. I will definitely do that. Sorry, the chat. I'm just trying to ignore it.
She's blushing for me.
My heart is on my sleeve. I'm sorry. It's super easy to read me. Yeah, kind of gets me in trouble sometimes. Is there anything else that you would like to end with for tonight? I think we've been going for a little over an hour now. Not that we need to end it, but I'm sure you have some plans for tonight with your stream.
I mean, it's very tough to beat that last little discussion point. But no, I just want to
the strip club one.
Yeah, I guess I would like to just, thank you all for what you all are doing. Your all's content is always incredibly fun to watch. And then you also get some, really interesting just people involved. Well, not just, folks in the community, whether they're content creators, but also seeing like the, developers, at Intrepid Studios come on. It really gives us some insight into those individuals, who they are behind the developer mask, right? So I always think that, us being able to see the people for who they are is incredibly important. It humanizes them a little bit and lets us have more empathy for them, understand their struggles, right? They're all humans. They want to get the game out just as much as we do. But they understand, the struggles that they're going through a little bit better than we do. We just don't see that all the time. So I'd just like to say thank you, and then thank all the other content creators that are allowing us to see that side of, those at Intrepid Studios. So.
Yes. And thank you for being patient with us tonight as we were dealing with our technical difficulties, and the community for being patient with us. But I hope it was worth it. I hope you guys enjoy what you see. There's more to come. I haven't finished fixing everything yet.
Yeah, didn't finish ironing out all the wrinkles, but we get there.
Right.
It's hard to believe BTV and Vertec are in the same guild. They're so wholesome and well. I'm.
So I'll say, I guess one final shout out I like to do. If y'all don't know Bartik, he's also an Ashes of Creation streamer.
Yes.
But he might be putting together a DM group that myself, a couple other people, I think Woodchip, will be. He'll be leading a starter kind of D&D campaign, and then we will eventually be transitioning into the world of Avera itself. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. So there's a lot of people doing some interesting stuff, and fortunately, I'm able to kind of participate in some of those. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, everyone just keep your eyes on the Ashes of Creation category. There's a lot coming. So
yeah, we try to find things for you guys to be entertained by while we're all waiting for the big entertainment to arrive.
Right.
The big
fun times on the horizon.
Yeah, and I will say this, I do foresee our podcast continuing far after the game comes out. We're not just a pre-game podcast, so we always want to talk about things that are happening in the community and things that are what you guys are interested in or feeling or thinking and things like that. So we'll be here.
Yeah.
So it's all about.
There are actually components of when the game goes live that our website is kind of depending on.
Yes.
So we have plans for the future. Plans for the future.
So, Tavern, are you going to be streaming tonight?
The only answer is yes.
The only answer is yes. Oh man,
The only answer is yes.
I'll have to go on for 10 minutes.
It's a singular choice question.
Actually, since this was the main thing that I had planned, my wife and I, we're going to be taking our son out for the first time to go meet some of his relatives that are visiting. So, which that'll be in about 30 minutes to an hour.
That's
so
cute.
Yeah, they've driven from like the East Coast, so I'm in California, so it's kind of big. So they'll be here
we
over
went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I was hoping you were going to say going out to meet Jack Skellington for the first time ever?
Man.
Jack Skellington. Oh,
I was
interesting.
expecting something
Do kids do that?
pumpkin-y. Just
So,
get
speaking
somebody
of
tall and lanky.
I still have to do a pumpkin stream. I attempted it once. My internet was not having it, so I want to do another attempt. I think that might be what I have going on tomorrow. A nice long pumpkin stream for the community, plus some Ash of Creation talk.
Yeah, I agree. Hold on. I just want to... Kyosin, 420. If you don't know, the game's not out yet. So that's why nobody's streaming the game.
Yeah, it's not out yet. They're still in alpha. Pre-alpha, actually. Not even alpha 1. There's actually a little timeline and playtest schedule. Those are the next publicly advertised scheduling or scheduled play times for testers. And as you can see, 3 of them is going to be under NDA. So they're not really going to be allowed to talk about it or stream it. But come April, there's going to be a lot of people playing it.
Yeah.
Like they have 10,000 plus people that are set to be testing it.
Also, if Steven continues with his, if Steven continues with his current pattern, every time there has been a test, he ends up making a video in 4K for all of us to view about said test and talk about like new things.
I think he did promise that there will be some, even in the NDA timeframes, right? There will be footage that he'll be releasing, which is really cool. For sure.
So keep your eye out on the Ashes of Creation YouTube page, I'd say, and their Discord, their official Discord, and their Twitter, because they have a lot of information that pops up each week, or at least each month. So yeah, Dev Stream, thank you for reminding me. Yes, Dev Stream is on the 30th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, so next Friday.
Yeah, one more week. Holy crap.
And we will be live right after to talk about it. So
is that one at 4 o'clock? I think.
11 a.m. PDT.
11 a.m. Okay.
So yeah, what is it? 2 o'clock your all's time?
2 or 3.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll be on later. We'll be on at 4 o'clock PST. So a couple hours after.
But
one shout out, not just a particular person, but if you still want to enter the pumpkin carving contest, you have until next Tuesday.
Yes.
That's whenever it ends. So
thank you.
It's a good reminder for myself as well.
Do it. I want to see you do it tomorrow. Come on.
Oh man,
I need to pull up your stream while I clean my house and watch you carve pumpkins while I clean my house.
All right.
And again, everybody needs to get your entries in soon, so that I have more to choose from when I am printing to staple them to my pumpkin. Because that's gonna be how I carve my pumpkin. It's just gonna be stapled on there.
Right. That's good. I like it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you next week at 4 Pacific time, 5 Pacific time.
Usually I'll go live at 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you do five on Fridays? What are the days you stream? Tell people your schedule, sir.
Yeah, so generally speaking, outside of internet issues, I stream at 5 to 8. Sometimes we do an hour over, but usually 5 p.m. PST to 8 p.m. PST, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturdays. I generally like to start anywhere from 12 to 3 and do a longer stream. So tomorrow I'll probably be starting in that 12 to 3 time frame, and just doing a long stream, having fun, chatting with our wonderful community here. So, and once again, thank you all for the invitation. I've had a great time today, as I knew I would. So thank you again.
Well, thank you for stopping in. We've wanted to have you on for a little while, but we had some guests scheduled out for the past couple of weeks, and we finally got through those. So, and thank you everybody stopping by to hang out with us. Much appreciated.
We appreciate your
Z,
time.
we'll get you on again here soon, Z.
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's been something stupid like a year or something now. Jeepers.
Ooh, time flies, right?
Yeah,
Has it been a year? Oh man.
It's been something really long, because I'm pretty sure. No. It was.
We had
May?
it back at least in
Something in there.
in February
I don't know.
for the tree. The lovely.
Yeah.
That's at least February. It's been long enough.
It's been long enough.
It's been long enough. Alrighty. Well.
But thank you everybody for spending your time with us.
Poor
Valuable resource. We love you spending it here, and we appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.